New Year's is traditionally a time where people make resolutions. And it makes sense. It's the beginning of a year. It's a time where you can create change in a very defined sort of beginning starting point. There's a freshness. And traditionally, it's a time where therapists, for example, get a lot of new calls as people decide that this is the year they're going to work things through. And so in this video, I wanted to talk about a few tips to get the most out of that resolution. You can think of the resolution as that initial spark of desire for change, and that's really important, and it's the first step. And there's things we can do to help make that resolution stick. There's almost a trope or a stereotype where, you resolve something and then it doesn't come through. It doesn't actually happen. And so what is it that we can do that can help us take something from an idea, from a vision, from a desire into reality? So the first thing is to realize that change comes through habit. And oftentimes we maybe have years of a different behavior, whether that's inertia, whether it's a negative habit, something we want to stop doing that we're used to doing for a long time. So it takes between 3 and 6 weeks to move out of whatever pattern we currently are in into a new one. And so those first few weeks are pivotal, that early momentum that you can create for yourself. And as part of that, there are certain things you can do to sort of move it forward. Just understanding that it's not always going to be as difficult, and getting into the habit early on is sometimes the hardest part, but the most pivotal. Just understanding that is important. And then anything you can do to help create that streak, whether that's keeping track somewhere of the progress that you've made, setting certain reminders in your environment around you. If you're going to go running, you could put your shoes by your door, by your bed. Anything you can do to help create that streak, that momentum, because when you set that tone, it can create long-lasting ripples of that positive impact in the future. Another thing to realize is that you can visualize yourself doing that activity. And this is where there's an interesting distinction between how people think about manifesting versus what science tells us about actually creating the mental change. So oftentimes people talk about manifesting and they talk about it as imagine the end result. If you want to lose weight, imagine yourself thin. If you want to make more money, imagine yourself wealthy. But what science has found is that you can actually trick your mind to thinking you're already there. You already think you've lost the weight. You already think you're wealthy. And actually your mind is like, well, I'm already there. Why should I even do that work? So what psychologists have found is it's actually envisioning yourself in the process, in the activities that will lead to the end result that is helpful. Then it gets your mind thinking, oh, this is doable. This is practical. So it also forces you to turn something from an abstract end goal into something concrete. If you want to lose weight, what is it that you need to do to lose weight? Do you need to eat certain kinds of portions? Do you need to speak to a dietitian? Do you need to go to the gym X times a week? And when you go to the gym, what activities will you be doing at the gym? The more granular and specific you can get and start imagining in your mind's eye, the better it will be. Same thing to do with money. What is it about finances that you're going to change? Are there going to be phone calls you're going to make? Are there courses you're going to take? Imagine yourself actually picking up the phone. Imagine yourself actually opening that course, taking notes. The processes, it's actually the action that creates change in our life. And just envisioning an end result actually doesn't get us there. Now, at the same time, it can be helpful to remember that sometimes we fixate too much on the grandeur of a new year or the size of a resolution. If you find yourself not being as consistent as you want, remember that each action, each thing that you do is itself a success. Just every single day is a success. You don't have to wait till next January. You can just start where you are at. The journey of 1,000 miles begins under your feet. It starts now, and you can do so at any point. It doesn't have to be a huge streak. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or if it's not. And actually, perfection is the enemy of the good. And so if you can just remember that any step at any point in the year is progress, that can help you reduce the stakes. So it doesn't have to be as momentous and maybe daunting as it might seem. While that being said, hypnosis is one of the most powerful ways that you can actually learn more deeply about yourself and implement change in your life. It helps cement those ideas more deeply into your subconscious, making sure that all parts of you are ready for change. Because sometimes our mind really understands the change, but our body isn't ready yet. So hypnosis can really help you dive that much deeper. We've got a lot of guided meditations on our YouTube channel for free that you can check out. And if you are looking for more personal guidance one-on-one, our hypnotists are available for you to take the next step, work closely on any specific thing that you would like to change in your life, and make this the best year of your life to date.